Hello everyone. So in the previous class we have studied about the introduction of the subject, course objectives and course outcomes, and about the different sources of water supply. Okay. In today's class we shall discuss about the different types of water demand. Okay. So what is meant by water demand? Okay. So while designing any water supply scheme, it is important to find out how much water is needed to be supplied to the city or town. For this, we must be able to find out water demand. That means how much water is required by the community. Okay. So let us say if you have a population of 5,000 people for a small village, then how much water is required by those 5,000 people. Similarly, if you are having a iron and steel industry, okay, of so and so metric ton capacity of production of iron and steel, okay, on a daily basis, then what is the water requirement? That is called as water demand. So how much water is required for their purpose? So this water demand can be annual, monthly or daily. Okay, so the demand can be of yearly or monthly or on daily basis, but we prefer daily, and it is represented as LPCD, that is liters per capita per day. That means how much water is required per person per day. It is called as LPCD. Okay, so it is not actually easy to find out the true values, but close empirical relationships have been developed. See, because for major cities, especially for metro cities, the population growth is not linear. So it is the sum of the cities grows exponentially due to the huge influx of population. Hence it is not very easy to find out the exact number, but some empirical relationships have been developed. Okay, so then what are different types of water demand? Okay, so first one is domestic demand, commercial and industrial institutional demand, industrial demand, fire demand, public use demand, then the demand required to compensate the losses. Okay, so these are 6 different types of water demands. Okay, so let us see in detail what are these different types of demands. Okay, so what is meant by domestic demand? So this means the water which is used for domestic purposes, the water used for drinking, bathing, cooking, washing, etc. Like for our daily activities, whatever the water we use, that is called as the domestic water demand. So the domestic water demands, it varies based on the standard of living, climate and customs of the people. Okay, so for example, in India, okay, so the domestic water demand varies between 135 to 150 LPCD. Okay, so however, if the flushing systems and showers are used, it may go up to 200 LPCD in modern cities. Okay, so for countries such as USA, because it is a developed country, the water may be up to 340 to 350 LPCD. Okay, so that means the water may be used for air conditioning system, bathing in bathtubs and washing machines, dishwashers, etc. So like as the standard of living increases, the water demand also increases. Okay, so generally 50 to 60% of total water consumption is domestic demand. Okay, so this is meant by domestic water demand. Okay, so for Indian conditions, it will be in the range of 135 to LPCD, 135 to 150 LPCD, and as the standard of living increases, the water demand also increases. Okay, so now you can find out the water demand for the different cities or countries listed here. Okay, so that means I have listed the combination of developed nations, underdeveloped nations and also developing nations in this list. So you can check the water demand for different places. Okay, that is for New Delhi, Tokyo, Hong Kong, London, Malaysia, Brussels, Philippines, Nigeria, Kenya, Iran, Israel, Bangladesh, France, Ethiopia, Sri Lanka, Republic of Congo, Caribbean. Okay, so here you find the varying demands for different types of cities. That is, it depends on the standard of living, climatic conditions, and also their water usage for different purposes. Okay, so that you'll come to know the difference between the water demands for the different cities. Okay, so next we have the water demands for various types of buildings. Okay, here the factories where bathrooms are required to be provided, the water demand is up to 45 LPCD. So factories where no bathrooms are required to be provided, then it is 30 LPCD. For hospitals, the number of beds not exceeding 100, then it is 340 LPCD. Okay, if the number of beds exceeds 100, then it is 450 LPCD. So nursing homes and medical quarters, it is 135. Hostels, it is 135. Offices, it is 45 LPCD. Restaurants per seat, it is 70 LPCD. Hotel per bed, it is 180 LPCD. Cinema hall and theatres per seat, it is 15 LPCD. Day schools, it is 45 LPCD. Boarding schools, 135 LPCD. Garden, sports, grounds, it is 3.5 per square meter. Animals or vehicles, it is 45 LPCD. So for different types of activities and the different types of buildings, so this is the various types of water demand. So you can see the maximum water demand in this is for hospitals, because in hospitals, so we need water for many purposes. Okay, then commercial and industrial demands. Okay, so the demand exceeded by these include the service sectors of hostels, offices, restaurants, hotels, factories, schools and hospitals. Okay, the commercial and industrial demand may be up to 20 LPCD, but for highly commercialized cities it can be up to 45 to 50 LPCD. Okay, so this is the demand exerted by the commercial and industrial establishments. Then industrial demand. The water required by industrial demand mainly depends on type and size of the industry. Okay, see, each industrial operation varies based on their raw material, their production and their capacities. So accordingly the water demand also varies. Okay, so this demand includes of those that are currently operating or likely to be started in future. Industrial demand usually accounts for 20 to 25% of total demand of the city. Okay, so this may account to 550 LPCD in case for large separate. In case of SSI, for large separate provisions can be made. In highly industrial cities, the demand is about 450 LPCD. Okay, so like it depends on the different types of industry and its processes. Okay. Then demand for public use. That means we also need water for public utilities. So the public utilities include the water required for parks and other amenities, street washings, sewer cleaning, etc. Okay, so this is not considered important because only a very limited percentage of water is required for these purposes. Okay, so that means in the given table you can see for public parks the water requirement is 1.4 liters per meter square per day. For street washing it is 1 to 1.5 liters per meter square per day. For sewer cleaning it is about 0.5 liters per head per day. Then the water in compensate water demand for compensate losses. Okay, so this is very important especially for major cities with complex network, as we have about 30 to 36% water which is lost via losses and leakages. Okay, so this is a major concern for us. Okay, so for major cities, for metro cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai and Kolkata and other rapidly growing urban cities, the water losses are heavy, because so the water network of the pipes is very complex, and it is very difficult to find out where the water losses and leakages are occurring. Okay, and this could be due to the faulty connections, faulty fittings, running taps, damaged meters, water thefts, okay, and unauthorized connections. Okay, and it accounts about 30 to 36% of from the total water demand, and it has to be checked to save this much quantity of water. Here the per capita demand of the town, it depends on the standard of living and the number or type of commercial places in a town. For an average Indian town, the requirement of water in various uses is as under. For domestic purpose, it is 135 liters per person per day. For industrial use, you can take it as 40 liters. For public use, 25. Fire demand, 15 liters. Losses, wastage and thefts, then it is 55 liters. For Indian conditions, the total per capita demand, which includes all the demands for, considering all the demands as listed here, so it is around 270 liters per capita per day. Okay, so this is the number for most of the Indian cities. Then coming to fire demand. Okay, so fire demand is nothing but the water which is required to extinguish the fire whenever there is a fire outbreak. Okay, so to counter this, water is mostly used to extinguish the fire. Okay, so the fire mains should have been located at equal distances around 100 to 150 meter apart in the water mains. Okay, so and that is called as fire hydrants. Okay, we hardly see this in most of the Indian cities, but for very planned cities we also have these fire hydrants which are located at every 100 to 150 meters. Okay, so wherein it is provided with a hydrant, and a hose pipe can be attached to it, and the fire can be extinguished. The water will come from those houses, okay, from the hoses, so that it can be extinguished. Okay, so and we can shoot the water, okay, with a head of 10 to 15 meter for constantly up to 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so these are specifically designed only to extinguish the fire. Okay, so generally in a moderate fire breakout, 3 jets are fired simultaneously, 1 fire at spot and 2 at adjacent buildings, with each discharge about 1100 liters per minute. Okay, so this is how generally the fire is extinguished. Then to find out the fire demand, okay, so it is estimated by using some of the empirical formulas. Okay, so there are 4 different types of formulas which are generally used to estimate the fire water demand. Okay, so among them, National Board of Fire Underwriters formula, it is given by Q is equal to 4640 under root P 1 minus 0.01 under root P. Okay, then Freeman formula, Q is equal to 1135.5, okay, P by 10 plus 10. Then Cushing's formula, Q is equal to 3182 under root P. Buston's formula, Q is equal to 5663 under root P. So where Q is the quantity of water required in liters per minute, and P is population of town in thousands. Okay, so here the first 2 formulas is generally not applied for Indian conditions, whereas the Quichling's and Buston's formula is usually used. So you are required to find out the fire demand for for a given population. Here please remember the population should be in thousands. Okay, so you may be asked a numerical problem on this, so you should be able to solve it. Okay, so we can maybe we can solve the problem sometime later, since it is an online class. Maybe I'll try to make you solve the problem, so in probably the offline class, okay, if the time permits. So otherwise I'll take up the in online class itself. Okay, so that is about the different types of water demands. See, water demand and water supply is a greatest challenge to the present world. Okay, so like we have studied different types of water demands here. Okay, so we should be able to carefully estimate the different types of water demand, and accordingly we should work out the water supply schemes. And nowadays, to check the leakages, the modern systems have been used, like automatic detection of leakages, then analysis of water networks by some of the softwares, like EPANET is one software wherein we use to estimate the pressure losses and pressure drop across the network complex pipe networks. And maybe we can measure the leakages and losses by some computer networks. These are some of the modern things which are used to check the leakages, because leakages are simply a bigger loss to the water supply scheme. And also to check the unauthorized connections. So nowadays the metered connections are coming up. Okay, it is already there in most of the Indian cities, like in metro cities and all, and slowly you might be also have seen that in most of the smart cities the water metering is coming up. Like in Davangere, there is a water supply scheme, 24/7 water supply scheme planned by the Davangere Smart City Limited by a name called Jalasiri. So through which there will be 24/7 water supply is made to supply the water to the consumers. Okay, so that's all for today. We shall discuss the next part in the coming classes. Okay.